Suikoden? Yeah, it was alright, I guess. But I'm not into wioing RPGs.
Alright. That's like one of the best games on the PlayStation.
Shut your wioing face, Lauren.
You don't know what you're talking about, Grace. As usual, I love the whole series. Well, except the 8th one.
If you love it so much, why don't you wioing marry it then?
Why don't you marry your precious plumber, you stuck-up dog, goat, horse thing?
That's different. And I'm not a wioing horse. I couldn't bear playing that wioing game.
I know, right? That baby screaming is so annoying. Geez Louise. So are you a fox then?
Will you stop asking these wioing questions?
Why don't you just tell us?
Because it's none of your wioing business. Not that there's any actual reason.
You could have fooled me, the way you always dodge the subject.
I can't be wioing with this.
Just like when someone asks why you joined.
Wioing this. I'm going to the wioing bar.
Or how long you.
Not wioing hearing it. But I couldn't get into it. The controls just sucked.
Yeah, looks dumb anyway.
Wioing bombs kept blowing up on me. Didn't even see it coming. You know, there's a secret path if you solve him and fly under all those things.
Like wioing there is.
No, really, there is.
Well, if you say so, why don't you show me?
But it's your turn.
I want to let you have it. And I know you want it.
I don't feel right taking it from you just yet.
Come on. It's the least you deserve. It's so wioing hard, I don't know how you can cope with all this. It's too much for me. I just want to give up.
It's not as hard as it looks. Don't give up. You've just got to keep trying and never stop. You'll make it eventually.
Thank you.
And I'm here to help. I won't abandon you.
I know you won't. It's like super ultra hard, I'm giving up on it.
For wioing's sake, don't give up, you weakling.
Geez Louise, will you back off for once? It's just too hard.
It's never as hard as it looks. You've just got to keep trying and never wioing stop. You'll make it eventually.
You ever listen to that serial broadcast Michael Paganson made?
What, the one where he turns into a metal death machine and rescues kids?
Yeah.
No, wioing Michael wioing Paganson and his superstitious nonsense.
I liked it. Reminded me of Devar's.
The captain's whispering in his ear, worship Goskireth. Indeed. Goskireth doesn't wioing exist. It's all to worsen our suffering. They're all playing right into his hands.
Sigh yes, Grace. Guys, maybe we should just go back to calling it the Mower Force after all.
Yes, well, whatever you judge most appropriate, my liege.
I dunno, whatever, I mean it's up to you, your majesty.
I couldn't wioing care less. Anyway, I know you're gonna go back to it when your dumb name change comes round, like the wioing sheep you are. Say, check this out. You'll get your kill at this one. Here it comes. Wily. I gonna do what I should have done years ago.
Ha.
Zoo. Wioing me. I love balloons.
What?
Gimme one of those.
Sure, here.
It's so nice. I could hold this all day.
Anyone ever tell you you're weird?
What do you think?
You just made it up, Grace, that's not real.
I got a copy in my parochial house. I'll show you it sometime.
Why have you got?
Who knows, maybe you'll want to borrow it. Huh.
Do I even want to know?
No, you don't.
Didn't think so. Excuse me a second.
But not for the reasons you're thinking.
This is the biggest load of wioing I've ever seen. How can you even play it?
It's not so bad. You've just got to have the right attitude. Every game set can be fun if you approach it the right way.
I don't understand.
You've just got to keep trying till you find a way. Why don't you try again from the start and I'll give you a hand this time.
Thanks.
For his sake, young, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, get in with ya. Yeah, that's it.
Here, you can have the pizza, I'll leave it for you.
Thanks. You know you're too kind, it'll be the death of you.
Some things are worth dying for.
Stop saying that.
We need to reform the bee workers' rights. This exploitation is unacceptable.
Oh, Do behave.
That's not funny. Don't make me bust out the jazz band again.
Oh no. Anything but that.
Oh my weoing, one of these? That's like all the worst things combined.
I mean, it took a while to get into it, but I kinda like it now. Plus it reminds me of Shining Force, which is great.
You and your weoing Shining Force. Corpy me. A Danish pastry. Oi, avent, ad one o, them in bloomin', ages. Over love. Gives one o them. Yeah, that's the stuff. In fact, and over the ole bleed in lot of em, I'm famished, oi. What's the bright idea? Koski, she was just serving me. Where you talking not? Get back, Erwit, moi pies. So they trap all these dysfunctional people together in a large house and then subject them to a protracted period of intense psychological and emotional torture, recording it with microphones and broadcasting this over the airwaves, all for other people's amusement?
Yes.
Bats.
Sounds kind of bad when you put it like that.
Weoing horrible.
Santa Claus conquers the weoing Martians. The weoing's a Martian.
For goodness sake, Grace, everyone knows about Santa's relationship with the Martians.
Oh well, excuse me, leave it to the resident expert on fictional weoing characters to put me in M. My.
To put you in your place, yes. Martians are eons from another world who Santa had to stop once.
And I suppose you're gonna tell me that actually happened.
Well, yes, I imagine it did.
Ha. I love arcades so much.
You know, I always wanted to go to one of these as a child, but they didn't have any.
That's a shame.
I was happy with what I had. While I had it.
Well, that's good.
And I'll always be grateful for that. Always.
Wow, didn't expect to hear words like that out of your mouth.
Ellen, what's this weird language?
That's Western. Can't you tell?
Never seen it before.
Never seen it? Were you raised on a farm or something?
No. And so why is the moon grinning like that? He looks like he wants to eat you alive.
I dunno, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It just comes out of nowhere. The rest of the time he looks so sad and tired, like he wants nothing more than to just drift off and lose himself in sleep.
Maybe it's an act.
What, the sad face or the grinning one?
Who knows?
Shining Force, huh?
They're like the best RPGs on the Genesis Mega Drive.
Funny how that's our name too.
Well, maybe that's why he picked the name.
Don't be weoing ridiculous, Lauren. He barely even knows what a game set is.
Well, you should see Shining Force 3.
I thought that's what we were in.
Yeah, it is, but it's also a game set. Well, 3 game sets. All called Shining Force 3.
Every time you bring that up, I can't believe how weoing ridiculous it is.
Stupid weoing bombs, I was nowhere near that. Did they even test this game before they released it?
Well, careful.
Oh, weoing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Are you alright?
Yeah, just don't waggle the thing around like that. I said I'm alright.
Are you sure? I didn't hurt you?
Yeah, please take your paws off.
Let me just make sure. I'm gonna cast heal level 1 just in case.
It's just a Wiimote, this really isn't.
Please stay still. I stayed up practicing all night. It won't be like last time, I'm better at this now. It should only take a... There.
Alright, thanks. Now, can you get back to...
If it starts to hurt, can you let me know?
Yeah, okay.
Why are you sweating?
Just take your paws off. Hey, this is a rip-off of Zelda.
No, it's not.
Yes, it weoing is.
How do you know so much about Nintendo games anyway? I thought you only had Hotel Mario.
Used to have more.
What?
Cough, I said I used to have more. Bunkery Barcher's a weoing idiot. How did he even get that job as a Democratian technician?
It's just a show. It's not real. You're taking it too seriously like you do with everything. Did you tune into the latest one?
No, of course I weoing did that. It's been worthless for years. Besides, it's just static now.
I wonder if maybe it's not static. Maybe if you listen closely enough, you'll hear something.
That's weoing absurd.
I mean, there was this one time when I was listening to the...
To the what?
Never mind. Why do you hate RPGs so much?
I don't hate them. They're just boring.
I don't feel that way.
Well, thing is, whenever I play an RPG, I feel like I need to keep leveling up the characters before I do anything.
Well there then, that's your problem.
Like I don't want to put them in a dangerous situation until I'm satisfied they're strong enough to handle it. And I can't let them move on from the place they're at until I feel they're ready for it. I feel like they're depending on me to keep them safe and raise them right so they can handle whatever gets thrown at them.
Well,
and if they go off and get hurt by enemies they haven't been trained to deal with and they weren't prepared for, then it's all my fault. And that's a lot of responsibility on the player's shoulders.
I mean, I never thought of it that way. I think you're overthinking it there.
Too much to bear, even. For most players, I mean. Not for me, obviously. I would never buckle under that kind of pressure. Never. But that's not what I want when I'm playing a game set. How many of these weoing shining games are there?
So this owns kind of a sequel to the first one on the Genesis.
Kind of?
Well, it's the same gameplay and stuff, just the story's sort of different, I guess.
Looks like weoing. Who would waste their time with something like this?